there, my name's JD, and I'm right here in the control room of Studio 8 in Studio 2105, and you're watching another episode of Weekly Update Wednesday. First off, a big and warm welcome to all the new viewers to this channel. Please take a moment to leave a like, do share this video, and click subscribe. Remember also to click on the notification bell so that you'll be updated every time I upload a brand new video. Remember to also sign up to my email list. It's all down in the description below. If you sign up for the email list, you'll get my personal drum sample and my IR reverb library. Okay, so do check it out if you like free stuff. A big shout out as well, we don't want to forget, to all the patrons who support the channel financially. If you can, do consider signing up to become a patron. Head down to this website, www.patreon.com/studio2105. You can help to support the channel, help me to create more content like this, our weekly live streams. You can also, if you sign up to become a direct access or a VIP access level patron, you also enjoy one-on-one tutorial mentoring sessions with me. You get some exclusive content, behind the scenes stuff. You get discount codes that you can also use towards any of these studio services right here. Alright, a quick announcement. Direct Access Band Search. Technically, yesterday was the closing date for submissions. Now we're entering today, Wednesday would be July the 1st, okay? And man, how time flies, man. It's already been 12 episodes. You're watching episode 12 right now. And so I've gotten quite a lot of requests from artists and bands out there who felt that they need a little bit more time to get their demos and to get their submissions in. Well, understandably, you know, these past couple of months it's been hard. We've all been under the MCO lockdown. Only very recently did, you know, jamming studios open up. So some of you, it was hard to get band members together because obviously, right, you know, a lot of the lockdown restrictions. And so you've been asking me to maybe give a little bit more time to work on and to submit your demos. So here what's gonna do, okay? I'm gonna be extending the deadline for the Direct Access Band Search by another 2 weeks. Okay, so 2 weeks, all right, should be more than enough time for you guys out there to, you know, get your demos together, get your demos in place. Remember, if you are an independent, if you are unsigned band, send in your demos and submissions, okay? You got 2 more weeks to go until Tuesday, July the 14th, okay? All right, again, what the Direct Access Band Search is, how is it related to the Direct Access Music Production Workshop. Everything is explained in one of my previous videos. Okay, I'll put a link up to it, or it's also down in the description. So if you want to find out all the mechanisms, basically if you're an independent and unsigned band, you can stand to win an opportunity, a chance to have your song produced, recorded, mixed, mastered right here in Studio 2105 by me for free of charge. More free goodies, right? Last week, as you may recall, I had another episode of MixStream. I was mixing this new metal band called Nero and their brand new single titled Figura di Merda, and featuring the rapper Apex CZ. Okay, so check it out. Okay, last week's MixStream, I really had quite a lot of fun mixing the song. Still working on the mix this week. It's been pretty busy over the weekend. So stay tuned for updates, alright? This week I will have another episode of MixStream, but I have not really set it up yet, so I have not announced it. So what you want to do is remember to follow me on any of my social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, on Facebook. You just do a search for MixBoy2105, or just follow the YouTube channel, okay? All the updates and everything will be posted ahead of time. Time to get to this week's featured question. Again, this week's question wasn't actually a question per se from someone on the internet, but it's kind of a Very, very important topic which I felt that needed to be addressed, especially now during this time, the times that we live in 2020. Okay, so this is how it goes. Should I be an audio engineer in 2020? Should I have a plan B? In today's video, I'm going to address a very important topic that was not only important before the whole COVID-19 outbreak, but it's become even more important and even more significant as a result of it. This question's gonna be pretty interesting for audio students and anyone out there who's dreaming of becoming an audio engineer or working in the audio and music industry. And I want to share with you my opinion on sort of issues or like what to do prior to enrolling to an audio school, how to bridge the time gaps between your studies, your graduation and employment, or between work or between jobs, and how to increase your skills, your knowledge, and your personal profile. Now, this video is not meant to be like a step-by-step guide on how to manage your personal career in audio, but it's simply meant to kind of help and maybe help to inspire you to find the right path, and most importantly, how to have a plan B. Imagine you're doing live sound, you're a live sound engineer in the middle of a show. Suddenly there's a technical problem, piece of equipment breaks down and it's threatening to bring the entire show to a screeching halt. So you analyze, you evaluate, and you act accordingly. You go through your checklists, right? You talk with your team members, and you quickly troubleshoot the problem, all the while remaining calm, professional, and in the end, you work to get everything back on track, right? Hopefully with all your backup equipment, your backup systems all ready. As an audio engineer or any audio professional, right? You're trained to always be ready and to be able to adapt to all sorts of abnormal situations, okay? Let's rewind to the beginning of 2020. So the global pro audio market has actually been growing pretty steadily since 2015. Last year in 2019, it actually reached its peak value, its highest value, right, of about $192 billion, right, worldwide. Forecasts were expecting it to hit up to $230 billion in 2023. That's about a 4.3% annual growth rate, okay? But come late January, early February, concerns about COVID-19 began to grow, and this had grave consequences for the audio industry as we know, live shows, concerts, festivals, events were all cancelled, resulting in many of our fellow live sound engineers, technicians, etc., having to go out of work. Broadcasts, recording and post-production studios were a little bit more resilient, but even we felt the effects, right, due to the resultant economic losses suffered by everyone. I think latest story we've that's in the news is that another of the big media groups here have done another round of retrenchments. Even like earlier in this year and last year, I even understood that a lot of these big media groups had even retrenched their entire audio departments, right? Basically hiring them only on a contract basis. Certainly, there's a lot of you out there, there's going to be countless of you out there who are students who are already enrolled in your audio and your music schools right up to the outbreak of COVID-19. And, the current situation really leaves you uncertain about the future. Right, some of you need to complete your final assessments, or even if need to continue your practical or internship stints in order to graduate, but with the lack of shows, lack of events, studio businesses being down, lack of activity, that's looking really hard as well. For those of you who find yourselves in this situation, sadly there are no instruction manuals or like a clear solutions to all this, but hopefully what I'm sharing with you will help you to adapt to this crisis. Well, the whole music industry actually had been in a slump, right, since the kind of 2000s, and only in 2015, okay, did we see it making a turnaround. There are lots of reasons around it, right? Including, the decline of physical sales, the rise of MP3, digital formats. Only in 2015 did we see, things making a little bit of a turnaround lah. Now, as mentioned, all right, forecast has actually estimated that the industry actually will continue to grow. Now we're going into, digital streaming platforms and all that. So we're seeing like some positive growth, right? Recently, we're seeing the industry grow in a very positive manner. So basically what it means is that, generally speaking, as we look back in the past at how the industry has adapted so far, all right, it has always recovered after any sort of crisis or downturn. Despite the current decrease in demand, obviously no live concerts, no live events, given some time, health experts suggest like 6, 12 to maybe about 18 months, we will see an increase in demand as people want, people are dying to go back out to enjoy live music and live events once more. Now, of course, statistics can only kind of give you a vague outlook. It only gives you a projection, but the main takeaway, right, that I'm trying to make, right, is that it's like better times are there to come, okay? Right? Despite how dark and how gloomy the outlook is, statistically it's been proven, it's been shown that, we'll always rebound, we'll always recover, and usually recover to make up even for all the losses. The recovery usually makes up for all the losses that we've experienced, right, during this time of downturn. Now, it's really unclear, right, to be honest, what's the long-term impact of the pandemic to not only the audio industry, right, but the global economy as a whole, right? But you see, instead of allowing all these problems, all the doubt, all the uncertainty to take control of your life, I want you out there to adapt and to take control of it instead, all right? Adapt to this unusual situation and take control of your life. So here's some of my thoughts that I think was worth giving a look, all right? Taking a look into when it comes to either delaying the start of your audio education if you're kind of a student, all right, thinking of studying music or audio, or if you have to bridge some of this time gap, okay, after the completion of your studies, right? If you just graduated or about to graduate, coming out in this job market right now does not really look very positive as well. The first and most obvious option is to continue studying at a college or university and learn a different profession. Yes, you're young and becoming an audio engineer or working in the music industry has always been your dream. So you might be asking, am I going to spend all those extra years? Is that really necessary? Why shouldn't I just start my audio education right away? Where are those extra qualifications? If I study another course and then I get another diploma or another certificate, another degree, is it really necessary? But if there's anything that this pandemic, all of this has taught us is that, right? It has taught us otherwise, okay? We really should have a backup plan ready. Okay, now, there's several reasons why you might want to consider this option. So number one, it helps you to gain some life experience, okay? And secondly, right, it helps you to acquire these skills and extra qualifications for perhaps professions that are related to the industry. Why is this significant? An audio engineer, you're able to work when there's a demand. In the case of COVID-19 and all the restrictions that have come into place, becomes a hard fact. When there's no demand for your type of work, you're out of a job. Also, touch wood, cross your fingers, like in the case of, let's say, sickness or injury that results in loss of hearing. So if you lose your hearing, you also lose your job. Audio and music education is not cheap. And remember, when you finish school, very likely you might possibly owe up to, let's say, 80, 90 or even 100,000 ringgit, okay, in study loans. So if you lose your job or your ability to work, you can't make enough income, but you still have to pay off your loans in the future. So any skill or qualification that you've acquired prior or during your careers will be very helpful because it can help you find another job, to pay off your debts, to pay off your living expenses, your to put food on the table, right? And just to support and just to survive during this time. So there are many fields of studies and professions that you can choose from. So it's an option that's worth keeping in mind, okay? Now, if you end up not needing the qualifications that the extra qualification you studied for, that's okay, that's fine, that's good, right? Because number one, it's way better to have something to fall back on than to have no backup plan at all. Okay, now, this brings me to point number 2. Bridging the time gaps and dealing with delays in your career. We're now in a waiting period. It's always very uncomfortable. It's very disturbing and it can be very disrupting, especially like how we're facing and experiencing now. If that disruption and that delay is for an extended length of time, use it as a chance to learn new skills and to broaden your knowledge. So go and apply for internships. It doesn't necessarily have to be in audio, or you could also apply for industry-related jobs. Now, yes, some of these jobs, right, it might be kind of below where your level is, where your skill level is. Some of it might be stressful, some of it may involve a lot of physical labor and a lot of hard work, or sitting around in an office, and it may not have the best paychecks out there. But if you can work in an industry-related job, it can have a lot of benefits. So number one, it can allow you to learn other aspects of the industry. It helps you to understand the work done by others, procedures, business operations, etc. And if you stay and stick in your related industry, right, in the audio industry related jobs, it will still allow you to build and, very importantly, maintain all these relationships and networking. Once you understand how different people and other people who work jobs that are different from you understand how their work is, it allows you to really, really work much more effectively in the team. And then when the times when things go back to normal, with regards to your career as an audio engineer, all this experience will be of great benefit. Now, my third and my final point, work any job and save money. Now, if you haven't begun your studies, consider putting it on hold. Colleges, universities are considered public and crowded areas, and due to social distancing requirements and all the restrictions, it's not really conducive to learn. I've been hearing a lot of complaints of from some students in audio schools and music schools of how hard it is to be studying in this kind of a situation. For example, a lot of online learning, there's limited access to facilities. I've known of a friend of mine who's studying audio, and he was studying in Singapore, but he's been stuck here in KL. And you end up having to do your work and your assignments on your laptop and your basic home recording equipment. You can't use your studio and your studio facilities. Like I mentioned earlier, education is not cheap. The money that you can earn, you can save it for your tuition fees in the future. You can use it to maybe take online courses. Okay, there's so many of the online courses that you can sign up for. For example, right, you can also sign up for the MixStream Academy by becoming a patron. Okay. Or number 3, you can even invest in some basic home recording gear so that you can start learning, all right, learning on your own, and who knows, right, even getting paid for your work. Now, all of these options have many variations, all right, all the options I mentioned above. There can be many variations, there can be many combinations, right, and in the end, getting into the audio industry is always easier said than done. But I hope that this video and what I'm sharing with you kind of helps you to kind of find and sort of determine for yourself a path that suits you best, whilst providing you with a set of conditions, right? Equip yourself and you prepare yourself with all the skills necessary and all the experience necessary that will help you begin a career in audio. Now, I would love to share with you guys out there, especially if you are students or you're graduate students, my own experience of how my career path went. Like for example, right, I was a student back in ICOM, right? I studied in ICOM, and I did not wait until I graduated or until my final year before I started working. In fact, when I was in my second or even my third year already, I was already out and I was getting paid gigs. I was getting paid jobs in the studio. I was paid to engineer. and I was paid to engineer on sessions in some studios. I did not wait until I graduated before heading out to look for all these kind of jobs. And for me personally, that has really helped a lot. If you'd like to know, a little bit more, if you like to do it, I'll probably do another video on that, because that will be another story to tell. Okay, all right. Personally, about how I started my career in audio. So if you're now out of a job, or if you are stuck and you are not sure whether or not to start getting or enrolling into an audio school, right? Don't just sit there. Don't just sit in your sofa. Don't just sit in the comfort of your couch, binge watching the latest Netflix drama or playing PS4 or whatsoever, right? Get off your feet, man. Get off your feet and start taking action today. All right, as usual, thank you very much for watching. Please do leave your questions and your feedback in the comments below. I really love to hear from you guys out there. All right. You can hit me up also on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And remember to leave a like. Do share this video, right? Especially if you have friends or who are in the audio industry, or if you have friends that you know who want to study, who are thinking of getting into a career in the audio and the music industry as well. Hopefully what I've got to share with you will be very useful and helpful to them. Okay, now remember, head on down, right, click the subscribe button, and remember to also click on the notification bell so you'll receive updates every time I upload a new video. And do consider as well to sign up to become a patron at this website below, www.patreon.com/studio2105. Right, I would really appreciate it. Before I say goodbye, remember, as usual, stay safe, wash your hands frequently, take care of your health and your personal hygiene, and remember to practice your social distancing. Okay, all right, take care now. See you in the next video. Bye bye.